Hey, what's up? I'm Olivia, and thanks for watching my first video. Blah! So today's video is going to be April TBR. So most of my books come from the library because I work there, and I love libraries. They have such wonderful services. The only thing they're missing, can you guess? Puzzles. They need puzzles. But yeah, so if I don't have physical books, or I do have books with library, tags on them, that's why. So, okay. There's gonna be a lot of books because this is my first one and it was hard to narrow it down. But the first book is The Death of Vivek OG by Akwaeke. So, I will admit I already got a chance to start reading this book, and it's absolutely breathtaking. It takes place in Nigeria, and it's about a community of young people there, and also their families. You know in the beginning that a certain character is dead, so Vivek. So you go through the book trying to figure out how it happens, and you just grow closer to the characters. And the book deals with identity, with queerness and belonging and found family, and it's just wonderful. The second book is called A Guide to Being Born by Ramona Acebel. So as you can see, it's a beautiful cover, and that's like 80% of why I picked it, to be honest, but also the description sounded really interesting. It goes through supposedly the different stages of life, like one section is birth and then it ends with death, and it was described as having stories with like Civil War ghosts and someone giving birth to animals, so it just seems like really mystical and magical and fun, and whenever there's ghosts, sign me up. So let's pick two. The third book is If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kerr. Another stunning cover. This book has a combination of poetry, prose, illustration, and I just love books like that combine a bunch of different styles to tell a story. The teen that the book is centered around, trigger warning because she is raped, and it talks about her holding the man accountable for that, and immigrating to another country and the whole process there, and it just seems like a beautiful book, and I can't wait to read it. So those are all the physical books I have. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Put little thumbnails in the corner here. I'm loving this book so far. So the book follows a character named Amira who is a babysitter for a white family, and it follows her experience as a black woman being profiled at a supermarket, and the reactions to the white people around her following that, and just how they interact, and the small racist ways that they fetishize and are possessive of her, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's very cringy, but looking forward to reading more. I just realized that the past 10 minutes I've been talking and the camera was blurry, so that's fun. So the next book is Actor Age Eve Brown, which is the third book in the Brown Sisters series, and the final one, unfortunately. Definitely check out the first two books if you haven't read them yet for some reason, by Talia Hibbert. This one follows Eve, who I guess meets her significant other in a car crash, and it's sort of not like an enemies to lover thing, but a person I'm slightly irritated at to lovers. So if you enjoy that trope, there's that. It's not really my thing, but I know that it's going to be an amazing book anyways. Next is An Almost Zero Waste Life by Megan Weldon. And I mean, the title kind of says it all. I'm interested in changing habits in my life to help the environment. But in the past, I've just kind of read articles and been like, yeah, that's a smart idea. But I'm hoping to read this book and then actually be intentional and fix specific things after reading it. So, yeah. Next is Disability Visibility, which was brought about by a project by Alice Wong, who compiled all of these essays, and which range from like personal reflection to, I think one is even a testimony that was sent to Congress. So I'm interested in hearing all these perspectives. Next is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. Apparently the Obamas are making this into a movie or something, even though it just came out. But it follows an Ojibwe teen who is like basically unraveling like a mystery in her town. I don't really remember all the other details, but it looks good. Next is Hummingbird Salamander, which is by Jeff Vandermeer. And I'm reading this because he wrote Annihilation, and I never read that book, but I love that movie. It was one of my favorite movies that I watched last year. I love science fiction and speculative fiction. So this novel has taxidermy. That's really all I remember from the description, but if it's anything not like Annihilation, it'll be a dream, so I can't wait to read it. So next is Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas. I love Aidan Thomas, the author of Cemetery Boys. If you haven't read Cemetery Boys yet, it's a great queer young adult book with lots of spooky things, so if that sounds like your thing, definitely check it out. This book is a Peter Pan retelling, so can't get better than that. I feel like this story in Aidan Thomas's hands will be so magical. Next is Minor Feelings by Kathy Park Hong. The author is a child of Korean immigrants and writes about their personal experience in America, and also about about Asian American history. And one of my favorite authors, Claudia Rankine, said, "To read this book is to become more human." So what a glowing review. Next up is The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. I read a part of this in my undergrad at Smith, and I always wanted to read the whole book, so I'm finally getting a chance to do that. James Baldwin is a magnificent writer, and the book is him writing to his nephew, reflecting on America at some kind of centennial or anniversary of America. Next is 84 Charing Cross Road by Hella Humph. I love books about books, and this follows someone striking up a friendship with a bookstore owner after they kind of write letters back and forth, so it sounds really cute. And apparently there's a movie with Anthony Hopkins, so the guy has range from Hannibal Lecter to bookshop owner, unless there's something I got wrong about the vibes of this book. Have you seen his videos with his cat and just like singing to it and playing the piano? It seems so wholesome and just like goals for life. Nothing but respect for Mr. Hopkins, but I don't know why they cast him in Zorro. We are almost to the end. Next book is Detransition Baby, which follows a trans woman that detransitions and his relationship and how he impregnates someone else and how their family moves through all of these things. And I'm really interested in books that break down the normal idea of family and put forth different ideas of how we can be in community with each other. So should be really interesting. And the next book is Destroyer by Victor Laval. It is a graphic novel and a Frankenstein retelling, so I'm really looking forward to that. I've been wanting to read his books for a while, so excited to finally pick one up. Yeah, so that's everything. Thanks for watching, and if you like the video, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you. Bye.